to the access. You can see I already have a shell. This is something I built before, but I'm not going to use this. Okay, just show you after finish how it will look like. Oh, you have all of the 7 tables, right? You know that those are the table objects on the left. And each table, I have my structure. I haven't really input the data yet. And this is my customer, my inventory, cashier, other position. I have my salesperson and the cash. This cash is our really like our cash asset or cash asset account in the accounting system. I believe I already have the relations. Yeah, I already have it. So you don't really need the data for you to link the tables. So this is like your final. I will ask you to get some data, but this is the most part of this assignment. I'm saying like spring break assignment, right? So database, that's kind of the relationship. The only thing I don't have here is the form and the form for all of the tables and some simple data we can add into the database. And then I'm going to build a new one. Okay, so I'm going to close this. But let me, okay. I already pinned the access into my start. Okay, so if you're already in your laptop or computer, okay, I'm starting a new access. Black one. So I probably need to share again. So after I click on like the app, okay, the Access app, this is similar when you open your Word or Excel or even PowerPoint, right? And the only thing you probably see different is you don't have existing Access database because I already have something before. Okay, I have my like the files. Okay, they're asking me, I'm trying to open a existing one or build a new one. No, you probably don't have anything. So you are going to click the black database or like a new, it basically means a new database. And you also can have some template, like the Word template, especially like the PPT template, right? So this one you can use their shell and customize it a little bit to your own needs. It will save you time. Or for example, asset tracking, contact cards, or student rosters. Okay, I'm not going to use, so I will click on open. So double click, okay, if you see. They didn't ask me to save. I can do this. Okay, if they didn't ask you or ask you to assign a name in the beginning, so I can save from here before I lost it. Okay, so I can say, and let me show you one more time. Because maybe I double clicked. So open again. So black database, this time I make sure I only click once. Oh, it's still going to here. Don't worry. Okay. If the system didn't ask you to name your database in the beginning, so I can save here. This is the table. Okay. I can do the file. Okay, save it before you forget. Okay, save. And you can save as like for a special location, right? So like if you save, that's your default. So remember where you save it. So I will use a save as, and be very, very careful when you save as, save the database. Don't use save object. you will fail to save if you choose, okay, use the save database and use the first option. Don't use other formats. I wouldn't be able to open, okay, that later. So you will got a problem. Excuse me. You will get a problem for submission of your database if you use other formats. Okay, so use this one, the .accdb. Okay, that's the extension of the file, and save as, and then you can click save as. Okay, that's fine. The closed. Okay, and you can see is like make sure you can the data type. Okay, is a Microsoft Access database. I will save it under my class folder. I will name it like the chapter 6 demo access. Okay, if you couldn't see me, like, this pop-up window, I'm just trying to save to the directory, like to my class folder, and have a meaningful name so I can recognize it later. Okay, and save. So don't worry, because the table disappear, I'm going to come over here to create. Okay, if you create, it will show up again. Because when I save the database, I need to close all of the objects. So nothing, right? So it's a black. And then go to create. If you remember, I'm going to create the first customer table. There are two options, just to use create table. So anyone recall, and you can create all of the columns here, but we prefer always use the design, okay, the design view rather than the datasheet view. So I'm going to switch to the design view, and now I need to name my table. So customer. That's also the one used in the book. And okay, and you should be familiar with this. Okay, I will change this to, I think we need to change this to customer ID or customer number. Yeah, the book asks us to change this to customer. I normally use a underscore. So when we write the coding, it will be simple. Okay, so customer underscore and number. The book doesn't have, or it's just two separate words. That's fun as well, as long as you use the quotation marks later when you write the coding, or use the quotations to put them together. And the book asks this one to change to a number. Okay, be careful, not text. Okay, customer, they use a number format. And again, you see the different data type, right? So text, numbers, large numbers, date time, currencies, auto, okay, yes or no, even calculated or lookup wizard. Remember, I use a lookup wizard for the IDs or we can use this for state names, right? And maybe zip code is not really, but maybe for department names or classes, all right, but like just when situation go appropriate. So customer number will be my primary key, right? So I don't need to change it. Then the rest of the field, they want you to check for the how to use the refinement, like these field choices in the bottom. So they said I want my number to be a, let me see, the field properties, and to be a long integer. Okay, we would select, and this one, yeah, long integer is already selected. Okay, just use the default. And then the validation rules, like this one. So validation rules, I require the customer number needed to be 6 digits. Okay, that's something validations. So I can put this is also in the book. I will put like pound. Okay, 6 cents to indicate I require 6 digits. Okay, 6 digits format for the customer number format is a long integer and required because this is the primary key is always required. And yes, no duplicate. Okay, for the index card. And the validation text, okay, if like people made a mistake, so we can tell them, okay, like, when you put a wrong format of passcode, okay, customer number should be 6 digits. Okay, that's your explanation when people made a mistake. So it's like a note. So you can see the refinement to ensure the data captured is in the right format and not missing values. And then, so we move forward. Okay, so customer number, and then they have customer first name. So I will just use first name. And remember the name, I also use underscore, and this will be short text. And no property required. Okay, like because the names like it can be anything. Okay, and last name to give flexibilities, also short text, and then customer address. And this is also short text, and then customer city, and short text, and then customer date. Think about this. You can use a short text. They can put their own customer, like the state, right? So like the short names. But how about if I want to put as a like a checkup field? Remember how I can do, like I'm saying, pop up. So I don't want a customer to enter their own state to prevent errors. So how I can do that? I want it to be a lookup wizard. Okay, lookup wizard. And I can show you, okay, but I'm coming back. Okay, so if you want to make it as a lookup wizard, you should have another table holding all of the state names. So when you click on the lookup wizard, you have two choices. I want the lookup field to get the values from another table. You need to have the other table available. I haven't, so I just showing the options. Or I will type, or if not, if it's something not really long list, like I only have 5 like departments or 2 schools, right? So I will type the values that I want. Okay, I can show you briefly that I will cancel that. Oh, so next, then you can see here I need 1 columns. I can put like from, for example, from like Alabama, and then maybe just like say, okay, think about, okay, Arkansas, and then like maybe Texas, right? This is the way you compile your own list, like CA, California, or others, right? So like Oklahoma, right? Make sense? Okay, is like if you do this later, when they input the state, it will be a drop-down menu they can select, but they cannot overwrite. And you can move on. Next. And you will call this So I finished it. Okay, later I can show you, but you always can use. So when you do this, seemingly still a short text, but when you input the data, it will be showing like a drop-down menu. Okay, I can show you how it appear in the datasheets view. And then zip code and email and zip. For zip code, they want to use a special format. So you want a input, this one. Okay, under the properties, they ask us to show input the mask. So under here, you click on the dot, must save the table. Yeah, save the table. Save the table, and for if you use the input mask, they have different like this social numbers or phone number like format, right? That's also we experienced when we enter the phone or socials, and we are going to use the zip code. It's also kind of restricted format, right? So and passcode extension, right? So long time, so we'll use the 5 plus 4 digits, okay, plus holder. And even you can change this, right? Use the different separation labels. Okay, we'll just use the underscore and next, and with the symbols like this, next, and finish. So similarly, you don't see the requirements, but later when you input, it will require this, special format. Okay, so our data ensure the data format is right and consistent with the normals. And then finally, the email address. Okay, I just shorted it as email. And this can be even like a short text will be enough. Make sense? So except for the customer number, all of the other data fields are short text, but I did make something different for like refine, okay, like the properties, define the zip code under the input mask. And I changed the state to a lookup. Okay, I always can change back to regular, but I just want you to show you how it look like. So I'm going back to the data sheets view. You must save and just click on yes, it's saved, right? So you can see that's all the columns we have designed. And if you do the state, did you see? If I want to enter data, right? So it's a drop down. So because I'm only putting 5 states, you can compile a separate state table to have all of the 50 states name. Okay, so you can look up, or you can finish your listing for all of the 50 states by yourself by editing the lookup menus. Okay. But this is like some just alternations. And even remember, you can even have a validation for the email address, right? So like the format. Some people to prevent people using a fake email for registration. So you want to send them a verification or confirmation email, and then they can register. Okay, that's all additional like data securities. Questions? Just one last thing, the form. So you can see I'm not adding data to the customer table directly. Remember the reason.